Welcome to a healthy living video blog at workoutmaster.com. This is Ruben.
And this is Aram.
Today we're going to talk about breathing. It's exceptionally important for your health to have a good breathing pattern. And we're going to talk about breathing patterns. Let's tear this one apart.
Absolutely. It is important, otherwise you might kill over. So it is important to realize that breathing is the most important thing that you can do. Face it, you come to this world, you take a big breath, and you start living among us. You leave this world, you take your last breath, and you leave, and bye-bye, that is. So it's the first and the last thing we do in this realm, per se. Now, breathing can get complicated for many and various reasons. Oftentimes, what we do is what we see with a lot of clients is that they perform what we call an inverted breathing pattern. That is where they don't utilize the muscles of respiration and the proper recruitment. And what it does happen is that those people might develop some form of pain either in the back or in the neck due to the muscles that they're recruiting, that they're there only to auxiliate, only to help the major muscles of respiration such as the diaphragm, and what causes a lot of pain and discomfort and is repeated over a period of an average of 2,500 times a day can become chronic and cause a lot of dysfunction in a person.
True. I like to learn from babies out of all the people, because I think babies don't have any preconceived notion of exactly how they're supposed to do things. They don't really learn by necessarily watching right away.
Nope.
But especially in the beginning. So the breathing pattern of the baby is perfect. And if you actually look at the breathing of the baby, you'll see they breathe with the bellies. And then that means the belly actually rises up. And then when they exhale, the belly comes down. So that's what we call belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. Unfortunately, most of the people, due to posture, sitting, stress, we tend to slouch. When you slouch, it's very hard to breathe with the belly. So we end up breathing with our chest. And anytime you have a respiration, and you'll see this a lot of times, you ask somebody to take a breath, they just take a breath like this. And that's a perfect indication of an inverted breathing pattern. So all the muscles that Ruben mentioned, the scalenes, the back muscles, they just start working too much for you. And when they work too much, they get pissed off. Anytime they get pissed off, they're eventually going to give you pain. It's like an employee that doesn't get paid what he's supposed to get paid. You okay there, Ruben?
Absolutely.
How's your coffee?
Hot. But thank you. So what we're gonna do, obviously not in this episode, but in the following episode that we will do on breathing patterns, we'll show you exactly how to perform a correct diaphragmatic breath. We'll show you exercises that we can do, and most of the time when we start with clients, this is the first thing we address. If you have heard or have seen the survival reflex totem pole that Paul Chek created for his HLC, Holistic Lifestyle Coaching program, it's very important to identify that breathing is at the very top ranking of needs that a human being needs. Obviously, without breathing, there's no oxygen, you're dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll create an exercise, we'll show you exactly how to do it, and we'll explain in more detail how to perform this when you find out that it is a faulty pattern. One thing that is very interesting that, Aram said, sometimes due to stress or poor posture, oftentimes what we do not like to see is that when we take a deep breath, we see our stomach kind of expanding and contracting with the breathe in and the breathe out, and people become very aware of how they look, and they don't want to see the stomach, pushing in and out, which is the case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that carries a set of consequences that it can actually stress the hell out of your back and your neck if you don't breathe properly.
For sure. By the way, following on that same thing what Ruben said, if you put your hand on your tummy and another hand on your chest, and if you breathe, if you'll see that the chest is rises, the hand on the chest is rises compared to the hand on the belly, that's mean you have inverted breathing pattern, and chances are you'll need to work on that. That's perfect test to see if you breathe properly or not.
That's correct.
Did you want to say anything else?
I think that'll be it. Just understand, begin to read a little bit about diaphragmatic or chest or mouth breathers. There's a big dichotomy between the two of them and the mechanics that they use, and it's very important to realize that once you have that information, you'll never have to breathe improperly again. And what it does is that it makes a huge improvement in the quality and the amount of energy that your body can make out of the oxygen that you breathe.
Absolutely. Remember, guys, your future looks better already. If you share this episode with the family and friends, their future looks better too. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next time.